All right, welcome back to the best damn training channel on YouTube. Today, we're doing a little bit of a review / competition. We're gonna find out what sprint spike is best, in my opinion. Obviously, it's not gonna be the best spike, but I'm gonna be doing some flying 10-meter sprints today. 30-meter build, 10-meter fly. We're gonna do 2 reps in the Nike Max Fly 2s, 2 reps in the Adidas Prime SP4s, and then 2 reps in the Adidas Prime SP3s. So those are the 3 pairs of spikes that I have access to. We're gonna do 2 reps in each of those. Then I've got 3 fly float flies to do. And out of what I feel like is the best, most comfortable / fastest shoe of the day, we'll do our fly float flies in that shoe to end today's session off. And then we're gonna finish up with some single leg bounding as well. But to start off with today, I've done the majority of my warm up. I'm gonna do a few build-ups into max velocity work. So we'll do some reps wearing just the regular running shoes first. I'll do a 10-meter section on those just so we can kind of get like a base time on what it would be like to run in flats versus spikes as well. But I'm gonna go set up the camera and we're gonna start knocking off some 10-meter flies. All right, so the first one we're gonna do is just gonna be a 10-meter build, 10-meter fly, basically working on just acceleration, making things feel hard and get a little bit more intense with this warm up. And I'm gonna keep on the flats until we get to like our 30-meter distance. So I'll time this 10-meter section for you guys here, but we got a 10-meter build, 10-meter fly. My estimation on this, because this is like my first hard rep for the day, is this is gonna be like a 1-2-ish type thing. And just what I said, 1, there we go. 10-meter build, 10-meter fly. We're in the flats, 1.25. All right, now we're gonna go 15-meter build, 10-meter fly. Should see that 1.25 drop down to like a 1.2 flat-ish. Oh man, my predictions are on point today. 1.20. All right, third warm up. We're gonna do a 20-meter build, 10-meter fly. I'm expecting this to be somewhere around 116. That would be my guess, 116. All right, I was way off on that one. 109. I think we're warmed up. We're gonna throw on the spikes. We're gonna do the first rep. All right, first rep, we're gonna be doing the Nike Max Fly 2s. Now, I've been wearing the Adidas for quite a while. I haven't actually worn the Nikes for probably 8 months or so. And I can tell you one thing I feel right off the bat is that there's just like more space in the forefoot. The Adidas tend to be a little bit more narrow at the toe. These feel like they got a little bit more space, but that air bubble is prominent. Like it feels soft compared to what I've been normally running in. So we'll do a couple reps in these, see what happens. All right, so we got 1.1 on that first rep. All right, and then we busted off a 104 right there. All right, so 2 reps are finished right now. 110, 104. The reason I think there was a discrepancy is because I feel like I have to run different when I wear these spikes because of this air pocket in the front. There is a lot of compression on that. As you can, I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's a lot of movement on that. And you get somebody who's 216, 217 pounds like myself, when that foot strikes the ground, you can really feel that movement go around. So maybe if you're a lighter person, let's say like 165 to 185 pounds, like that might be the better shoe for you. You may not feel that movement as much as somebody who's 200 to 220 pounds. And I think that was the reason why I didn't like these and I stopped wearing these for a long time, was because of that feeling. I felt there was too much like instability. I would hit the ground, I could feel my foot move a little bit. But I was able to kind of clean it up on that second rep. What I really tried to do from rep 1 to rep 2 is rep 2, I was thinking about like letting the shoe work more for me. So like put that foot on the ground, but try to get off the ground as quickly as possible. Still strike the ground hard, still run fast, but not try to compress that air pocket as much. And it felt much smoother, it felt much better, but I still am not a fan of how that air pocket feels there. So we're gonna lace up the Adidas Prime SP4s and we're gonna do 2 reps on these. And I'll just tell you here, these are probably the most comparable. So these Max Fly 2s and the SP3s came out at the same time, and then Adidas came out with the SP4. In terms of like why I think these are the most comparable is because I feel like the toe raise is gonna be more similar than the Max Flies to the SP3s. So there's a slight toe raise on the SP3s, but there's definitely more prominent on this as well with the Max Fly 2s. So I feel like these two shoes will be more comparable, which is why I'm going from the Max Flies to the SP4s. And we ran another 104 right there. All right, we ran a 105 right there. All right, so 2 reps done in the SP4s. And honestly, I like the Nikes better. And I didn't feel like I was gonna like those better than anything today, because previously those have been like my least favorite ones. And after doing 2 reps in the Max Flies, I'm now doing 2 reps in the SP4s. They feel easier to run in the Max Flies, if that makes sense. And I don't know if it's because of that air bubble, it just makes the foot contact feel more comfortable. Now, like I said, I kind of screwed up that first rep, and that's why it was a 110. The 104 felt much better. But the reason I bought the SP4s is because I loved the SP3s so much. I thought these would be an improvement. But the thing that I don't like about the SP4s is there's a much more prominent, like, forefoot raise. Like, you can feel it as like almost like you're standing on a stick or you're standing on a little ridge, and it's right in the middle, or it's right behind like that ball of the foot where there is a prominent raise. Now, if you're standing flat foot, you feel it. As you're running, if you don't strike the ground like right on that ridge, let's say you're a little bit further on the heel, it's going to hurt almost. Like, you can feel like it, almost like you're walking over a stick or every step. So it forces you to kind of try to land on your forefoot a little bit more, which may be by design. But comparing the two so far, if I had to choose between the Max Fly 2s and the SP4s, I'm choosing the Max Fly 2s right now. That's just comparing those two together. Now we're moving to what has been my favorite spike over the last 3 years, which is the SP3s. And the reason I like the SP3s so much is because they have a bit of a forefoot raise, not as prominent as the SP4s. They're very comfortable. I've ran very fast in them. I'm very used to running in these, so I'm a little bit more biased towards this specific one. So we're gonna lace them up. We're gonna run 2 reps on this and see what the times are compared to the Nikes and the SP4s. And first rep in the SP3s, 1.07. All right, and then 104 in the SP3s. All of the reps are done now. I've done 6 30-meter builds with a 10-meter fly. I tried out 2 reps on each of the shoes, and I ran identical times across the board. So it was able to run basically 105 or lower in each of the shoes with like a less than a 1/10 difference between it. So in terms of time, very similar to each other. If I'm basing it just off of feel right now, surprisingly enough, the Nikes feel the best. Like, after wearing those first and then going into the Adidas, it made the SP4s feel a lot more uncomfortable, especially like I said at the beginning, with the toe seems a lot more tight in the toe box area. The SP3s, I do still like more than the SP4s, but based off of comfort and how easy those sprints felt, the Nikes felt the best running that 104. Even though I ran a 110 on that first one, the 104 felt the easiest out of those. And I did run a 104 in the SP4s and a 104 in the SP3s, but it just felt better. Now, it could be the fact that I'm already 6 reps in and running a 104 just felt like I had to go harder. I don't know what it is. I originally came into today's session knowing that these were my least favorite over the last couple of years. But then putting them back on today after running in the Adidas for the last year or so, these actually felt a lot more comfortable than I remember them being. And part of it also is I'm probably biased because last time I did a sprint test in these, I ran slow and I was like, I'm never wearing those shoes again. So part of it is that reason. So what I'm gonna do now is some fly float flies. I'm gonna do a 20-meter build, 10-meter all-out sprint, 10-meter float section. So we're just trying to maintain speed, not trying to run as hard as we can. And another 10-meter all-out sprint. I'm gonna keep the timing eyes in the same spot where they're at right now. So we'll time that back 10 meters all-out sprint and see what those times are. And I'm gonna do the 3 reps in the Nikes. So something I thought I wasn't gonna do today was like these shoes more than the Adidas. But here we are. We're gonna do 3 more reps, see if we can't beat a 104. All right, 1.043 on that one. All right, 1.063. All right, so getting a little bit tired. I'm on rep number 9 right now. So we've done 8 reps and I can feel like fatigue setting in a little bit. So we're gonna take a little bit longer of a rest. But I do wanna say, I feel like I'm wrong about these Nikes. I was saying earlier how like that compression feels like if you're a little bit heavier, it might throw you off a little bit. I think if you can strike the ground optimally, so like in that mid-foot range, not all the way on the forefoot, but closer to like these 2 spikes right here. If you can strike the ground on those 2 spikes, you don't feel that air pocket as much. You don't feel that instability. If you're too far on the forefoot and you're on your toes a little bit, then you'll start to feel that instability. So maybe it was just getting used to the spikes again and trying to feel like that foot hit the ground in the right spot. But those last 2 reps there felt easier than the other reps that I was doing the flying 10s wearing the Adidas. Like the ground strike feels softer, even though it's just as powerful. It feels like I can get off the ground quicker. It feels like I can essentially do more repetitions at that higher intensity and feel less fatigued doing it, which is not something that I expected today, because I came in, like I said, I came into today's session not liking the Nikes based on previous sprinting experiences with it and then switching to the Adidas. But now that I'm wearing them again, and it might just be because I'm so used to the Adidas where there's no air pocket. They're a lot harder. When you hit the ground, you can feel the ground a lot more. The Nikes don't let you feel the ground, and that's a good thing. Like the Nikes, the Maxfly 2s, make it feel like I can make hard contacts with the ground and it's not going to punish me for doing so. Like it's not going to radiate up my body. It's not going to feel heavy. It's not going to feel hard. Like I can strike it and get off the ground a little bit easier. So I don't know if this makes any sense to you guys, but it does to me. But I'm definitely liking the Nikes a lot more than I anticipated, and probably going to start sprinting in them a lot more now that I brought them back into today's session. They've been sitting in my closet for the last 8 months. And every time I go and grab my Adidas, I just look at those and I remember it's like, I ran slow in those. And I just don't wear them because of that, which is a foolish mindset to have. We're going to do one more and see if we can't get a 103. There we go, last rep, best rep, 103. All right, last rep of the day, 103.8, fantastic. Was able to end on the fastest rep of the day, which is what you always want to do. Last rep, best rep, always try to do that. But very surprisingly, the Nikes were the shoe that I ended up liking the most. And I came into this session thinking that I was gonna continue to like the Adidas more. But after trying these out again today, after taking about almost a year off from wearing them, for whatever reason, I thought that I hate them, which is actually the reason why I like them today. There's a lot more cushion in them. They feel a lot more comfortable. Like performance-wise, very similar to the other, but in terms of like how it feels for the performance, the comfort of these won me over for today. And I'm gonna continue wearing these for the foreseeable future, hopefully buy another color, because I'm really not a fan of like this Christmas-ish, weird pinkish red type thing going on. I don't know, I don't like it. So maybe we'll get another color in those. But other than that, a couple things I want to talk about real quick. One, we're very close to 10,000 subscribers on the channel. So if you're here for the first time and you like what you see, subscribe to the channel. It's free, it helps the channel grow. I got some cool things planned as the channel grows in terms of giveaways and prizes for you guys. Click the subscribe button down below. I think we're like 100 and something, 150, 160, 170 subscribers away from 10K. I would greatly appreciate it if you guys did that for me. Also, I have 2 brand new affiliates for the YouTube channel. One, OVR, the timing gates that you've seen me use, the jump system that you've seen me use over the last few weeks. OVR set up an affiliate link for you guys so you guys can save $25 on anything that you buy on their website. So click the link down below if you want to get something from OVR. The other thing is Simply Faster, which is another site that sells a ton of equipment when it comes to sprinting, velocity-based tracking devices, plyos devices, all sorts of stuff that you can use for your training. They also set up an affiliate link, and that link will be down below. So if you need to get sprint sleds, if you need to get plyo boxes, if you need to get sprint tracking devices, free lap, whatever it might be, click the link down below. You'll also be able to save some money on everything on their website as well. That's gonna be it for today's video. Hopefully you guys got a little bit of information about the spikes. So other than that, make sure to like the video, make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.